The show has not even started yet. I just want to hold on. Okay, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're getting into the happily ever after tell-all, and as we all expected, Angela has made a complete fool of herself. So this season they're actually doing a 4-part tell-all, and they're going to be following them behind the scenes, which I'm actually super psyched for that because I just love watching them all interact and getting to see everyone's opinions on each other. I just love seeing it. I love the drama. Okay, so they start off with Angela. Her and her daughter Skyla are packing for her to go to New York. She's saying how she's not excited and she's always excited, and just still saying how she's confused on what she's gonna do with Michael. But then she does say she has someone coming
to help me expose Michael with all of his shady bull.
Okay, so I guess we'll find out whatever the hell that means. And then she talks about her having some beef with Usman.
Usman that said all that about me all over social media.
Usman actually was saying that Angela was the scammer. I'm assuming being like, oh, she got with Michael so she could get on the show maybe. And that's how she was scamming Michael. But also Michael and Usman have met in person and I guess are kind of friends. But that's when he started back with getting on the Instagram, and then of course that's how he met that girl, is through that Instagram, and I think even kind of through Usman a little bit.
I really do think you should stay calm when you're up there. Stay calm.
I'll keep that in mind.
Not a chance in hell, is there?
Okay, so then they move on to Big Ed and Liz, and their situation is just more confusing than ever.
What is happening?
Because they're not together, like they broke up again, and actually Big Ed kicked Liz out, and Liz had to like couch surf for a little bit, and she finally has her own place. But now they're seeing each other, but it's like every other day. Liz has said, I will see you every other day, but they're kind of together, but kind of not together, and it's just like, oh my God.
My brain hurts.
Then we also find out that Jenny is back in New York for the tell-all, which I find is pretty cool because she hasn't been back in the States in quite a few years now. And actually, her and Kim are pretty good friends. They met through the show and they have very similar backgrounds and similar stories with dating younger men. And I guess they're both from San Diego, and both of the families of the men did not like them or didn't really support the relationship, obviously in Jenny's case. So they kind of bonded over that, which I found pretty cool.
Cool beans.
Actually, both Kim and Jenny expressed that they are worried about Angela coming, especially because of the beef with Usman, and kind of Kim too, because I guess she also felt the need to defend Usman at the time, because I guess it all started back with Bear All, the online thing they did for a bit. Not only did Usman say that Angela was a scammer, but Angela said he was a scammer. Because, you know, everyone's a freaking scammer these days, apparently.
Oh, Nigerian scammers more.
And then Andre and Jovi are actually in New York, and they decide to grab a beer together a couple days before the show. I did not make a video about either one of them this season, and that is because I just didn't find them that interesting.
Sorry. Well, not really.
Okay, let me explain a little bit. So Andre and Libby, mostly I'm just bored of their storyline. Most of it's fake. I mean, we can get into that about the whole show if we want to, but I'd prefer to stay in ignorance a little bit. But them, I can't deal with them. I can't deal with their fake family drama, their pretentious family drama. I used to be okay with them, but honestly, when they went over to Moldova for that second wedding and they were talking about the peasant food, I just was like, no, I'm done with y'all. You all suck. And Andre is just controlling, narcissistic, and Libby is spoiled, selfish. Like, they're both awful people. They deserve each other. So I just hope that their kids turn out okay and that they do okay, honestly. And then as for Jovi and Yara, I mean, I did find them a little bit more interesting, but if I'm honest, I just found the other couples more interesting. So they're drinking and talking, and of course the green card situation comes up, and Jovi says how Yara's actually is 10 years, and Andre's having all that problems right now, and he could be deported. It's kind of up in the air. So he starts getting upset, and then that just brings up Libby's family, because he thinks Libby's someone, probably Charlie specifically, her brother, reported him about something or came up with some sort of false story to get him deported.
It seems like I cannot detach like my wife from all of this garbage.
He just bugs the shit out of me because he's just as bad as anyone in her family, and if not worse, because he doesn't mind using every single person in her family, specifically her father.
Do you ever think that maybe you're the problem?
Who the fuck do you think you are?
So that pisses Andre off, and he immediately starts deflecting and then of course picking out all of his problems.
It was like you were taking Yara to a strip club, like, and doing this like that, so it seemed like we have a lot of problems.
Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that I think it was okay for Jovi to bring Yara to the strip club, but at this point, it's old news. Yara has forgiven him. We need to move on. But the thing is, anytime Andre is confronted with something that he could have possibly done wrong, or a situation that he could have handled better, he does this. He deflects. What did you do? Well, look at all these problems that you have. I don't know. I can just barely stand to listen to him anymore. And neither can Jovi, because he just gets up and leaves.
This is a mistake. I'm just gonna roll out.
Okay.
So then we find out that Yara and Shida are actually friends too. They've been communicating online, I think they said for a few months now. And Shida really looks up to Yara because she really wants to kind of be like her and get her more of her independence and start her own business. I'm really not too sure what Yara does, if I'm being honest. I could look it up. I'm probably not going to. I won't lie to you. And then Shida goes back to the hotel room and she talks to Bilal. And the one thing she does say to him is that she did feel bad during the last tell-all, that she didn't stand up for him very much. And he agreed, so she said she's going to be a little bit more by his side than she was last time. So Angela is in New York, and of course she is already trashed.
Oh, my eyes burning.
But I noticed she has a new friend with her. Like, is this a new friend? I don't remember seeing this one before. If we have, let me know in the comments. But if it's a new one, I'm just wondering, are like all of her friends just bugging out on her? Can you blame them if they are? Okay, so now it is the day of the tell-all, and a few of them are waiting in the green room to get started, and Jovi drops a little bit of information that we didn't know from last year about Angela.
I'm wondering what's going to happen with Angela again. Last year, we waited like half the day for her to show up in the studio.
I mean, I am not surprised at all that Angela acts like a diva and is inconsiderate with everyone else's time. She does show up to the studio, don't know what time in relative to the others, but she does show up. And I am wondering, she has been trying to shake something that she does not have. Like, clearly, her mama didn't give it to her. She hasn't bought it yet. So I'm like, why the hell are you still trying to shake your ass? It's not there. Stop it. Okay, so now it is time for everyone to make their way to this stage. The only people who are not in the studio this tell-all, they're just going to be up on the screen, is Usman, Sumit, Michael, and Libby. And Libby is because she is like super pregnant right now, so her traveling is not a good idea. Before we really get into it all, I just want to do like a little appreciation of Sean. I don't know. I saw her when she came out and I was like, damn, like she looks so good this time. Like so much, like she always looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, man, with the flowy dress, like she just looks so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so everyone is out there seated and waiting. Everyone except for, you guessed it, Angela. Now, I don't know if this was intentional on their part or if she did keep them waiting. They don't really say. Maybe they'll say later on.
Lord, if I don't need you today, holy water.
Okay, I know this bitch did not just pull holy water out of her freaking bra.
That was real.
Okay, another thing to mention, when they were all in the green room waiting, Big Ed made this thing about telling everyone to, when Angela came in, just ignore her because she'll look stupid if she's, you know, coming in and causing shit and everyone's ignoring her. Well, as soon as Angela walks out, the first person she goes to is Ed, and I just find that hilarious.
What's up, Ed?
How you doing?
Crazy
And then all hell breaks loose.
you bitch.
Lying son of a bitch. This ain't gonna be good.
Kim very quickly announces that she's not involved and she has nothing to do with this.
I have nothing to do with this.
I hope not, Kim, because I have nothing wrong with you.
It's so weird that Angela, she keeps going up to the screen and like yelling, like trying to get in his face. And I'm like, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they can see, like there's not a camera mounted to the screen. I think they're basically seeing what we're seeing. So like she's just getting in the screen for no reason. But plus, like, what are you gonna do? I just don't understand why she's just like trying to be in his face. I don't know. It's just so stupid.
You're all talking, no action.
Let me tell you something.
You're using this woman.
Somebody! Somebody help! Like you.
Yeah,
You scam him. You lost him at the hostage.
It's kind of true, yo.
And then Yara is trying to get Angela to knock her shit off too.
Angela, chill down and respect us, please.
Okay, Ed has had some of the funniest facial expressions throughout this whole rant. But anyway, you know, Yara pointing out that Angela is not only being shitty to Usman, but she's being shitty to every single person in the room by having to make the whole thing about her. That just causes her to go off on Yara.
And have some respect
You
for
don't know what I've
everybody.
been. I don't respect no one.
Dude,
And
I
don't
don't
either.
care.
And
You know, I'm glad Usman and Yara are at least making an attempt to stand up to Angela because it's just such bullshit. She's an adult. She should know better than to act like this.
Grow up. Go and get your seat, pig.
You know, I'm normally against name calling. I don't think it's a very productive way to have an argument. Not that either one of them were interested in having a productive argument, but in this case, Angela kind of had it coming. She went in there guns blazing, you know? But immediately after that, she takes off stage.
oh, ma'am. Good night.
And then after she leaves, Michael and Usman start fighting.
You know you said a lot of things against my wife.
This woman will kill you at early age.
I'm not the biggest fan of Usman, don't get me wrong, but he has a point, and sometimes he can be pretty funny.
Angela is the worst thing that have ever happened to Nigeria.
So anyway, Michael decides to walk off as well, says he won't be there unless his wife is there. You know, despite Angela and Michael not being there, the show must go on. So Sean goes around and, like she always does, asks each couple how they're doing. So she talks to Jenny first, since this is the first time she's been in studio for a tell-all in like 3 years. And Jenny said she's doing good, but Sumit was just the sweetest thing.
My house don't feel like a home. So, yeah, I miss her too much.
This is one couple that I've always been able to see the love between the two of them, despite all of the things against them, all their ups and downs, rooting for them. And then Sean asked where Yara is living, because last we left them, she was stayed in Prague, I believe it was. And she says she's not in Europe anymore, but she's not exactly back in Louisiana either. And then Bilal and Shida said that they did try a couple times to have a baby, but only a couple times, so there's definitely more onto that. And then Libby is just super pregnant and so ready to not be pregnant anymore. And then Kim does confirm that her and Usman are no longer together. They are officially done.
But I want to start off with Ed and Liz. Will they or...
Okay, there is so much to unpack in just this little segment between these two. Watching these two try to have a relationship is like watching two toddlers try to have a relationship. It's ridiculous and it makes me want to vomit. Okay, to start off, they are still together, they are still engaged, but they are not living together. They have the arrangement where she goes over every other day.
I was feeling smothered, and she needed her space, and we...
If y'all remember, Ed was the one who pushed them moving in together, who pushed them getting engaged, who pushed their whole relationship. Liz wanted to pump the brakes. She said, I just got out of a bad relationship. I want to take this slow. But he constantly pressured her into going faster. And now he's kicking her out.
He actually had his friend help pack all my stuff to move out.
No.
Yeah, not only did he do that, but she had no place to go as well. She had to couch surf until she found her apartment.
You're a piece of for doing that.
According to Ed, he tried to make her move out well beforehand, but she wouldn't leave. So that's the reason he had to do that, according to Ed. Even hearing this, pretty much everyone on stage is like, fuck you. That was super gross of you to do. And he starts trying to deflect.
It will happen to all of you. I'm telling you right now. It won't happen to me. Eventually happen to you.
And you do the respect.
I love how Ed is trying to say, well, this will eventually happen to you too. Like, Andre and Libby, Jovi and Yara, and Jenny and Sumit, they have all been together much longer. Much longer than Big Ed and Liz. Jenny and Sumit have technically been together like a decade. So like you're gonna try and say that they're gonna act the same way you are? Like please, save it, Ed. And then they bring Ed's friend Rich out, and Ed is like, be nice, Liz. But he comes out and they ask like, when was the last time y'all talked? Are y'all friends again? And he said he's not really sure. They talked about a month and a half ago, and it's just kind of on and off, which sounds exactly like his relationship with Liz. So I wonder what the common denominator there is.
It is a mystery.
And then the topic of their jealousy comes up, and Big Ed just keeps trying to say, well, Liz is jealous too. Liz is jealous too. So they show the clips of the photo shoot and then of the engagement party. And like during the photo shoot, he's like, see, jealousy. See, it's right there. Literally everybody on stage is like, what the fuck were you doing?
Like, make no sense. We treated her horrible. Like, stop.
He was obviously flirting with her right there. He was flirting with her friend. And he was denying that whole photo shoot was set up for her to learn how to be a photographer, for them to just spend some time together. She said she picked her friend on purpose so that she would feel more comfortable, and so would he, like asking questions, so it wasn't like a legit client of his.
So listen, Liz, you're not coachable. You think you know everything.
Jovi is just getting so angry listening to Ed, and I don't blame him.
What you need to do is learn how to respect your fiance.
No, it's not.
Though during the no neck comment of the photo shoot clip, you can see everyone is like, you can hear like people chuckling and like trying not to laugh, and I find that pretty funny.
It looks like she has no neck.
No, you're the student.
I know I'm going harder on Ed than I am on Liz, but also Liz keeps going back. This is so unbelievably toxic. I just wish she thought better of herself. She may think she does, but she obviously doesn't. And Big Ed, he's just so gross. Like, I just hate hearing him talk, and he's just, no. Please, Liz, go find someone better. You and your daughter deserve better. And then Liz reveals that Ed has been on Asian dating apps while they were together. In fact, her and her mom decided to make a fake profile to see if he was active. They didn't catfish him. They just wanted to see if he was active on there. And he was, within hours of her going to his house and leaving his house. He was active on there, and he's trying to deny it. Say, it's an old account. It's an old account. Bullshit, Ed. Bullshit. And you know for a fact it's true, because he's like, well, it's pretty weird that you and your mom would do that. You guys have nothing better to do.
Her mom and her have nothing better to do than spy on me.
Big Ed's excuse for flirting just makes me gag.
I'm a socialite.
Him of being...
And then Sean asked if Ed has corresponded with Rose at all recently.
I may have. I don't remember.
Oh, that's very convenient of you, Ed. Don't worry, though. Guess who does remember? Rose.
Hi, Ed.
How are you?
Good.
This is actually Liz's first time meeting Rose, and she's actually being very nice to her.
And you're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
And so Liz just straight up asks her, have you talked to Ed in the last couple months?
Yeah.
Watching Ed be so stressed is just hilarious to me. Okay guys, that is the end of part 1 of the Happily Ever After tell-all. I will be back next week with part 2, so make sure you look out for that. And that's all I have for you. I hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.